so today is truck tour day. I know that everybody wanted a truck tour of trouble and I never got around to it. So I'm going to do this one first thing with this truck. So, truck tour. Today is truck tour. Okay guys, so this truck, it's not a super flashy truck like Trouble, but it gets the job done and it does it well. I just this morning unloaded my second load for this truck, and I'm satisfied. I think it's a pretty decent, it's a pretty dang decent truck. There's no more hood, so that takes a little bit getting used to going down the road, not, being able to look out over the hood and kind of place in my lane. But other than that, I mean, there's a couple differences here and there. Like, this truck's a 13 speed. My truck was an 18 speed. And when I drove my truck, I drove on the... I had my truck in the high side of my low gears. In this truck, you don't have a high side of your low gears. That's where you lose those 5 gears. So whenever I go to downshift this truck, normal habit is to have it high side, low gear. So up and down. And when I go to shift that, it won't do it. You can't put it into the low gears while it's still in high range. So, so that kind of messes me up a little bit. Kimber, stay up here. Sit down. Sit. Good girl. You stay here for a minute, okay? So that's been a little different. The other thing that I've noticed is that it definitely has shorter gears. By that I mean Trouble had 336 rears, and I'm pretty sure that this truck has 355s. What do you see out there? You watching the traffic? Is there good traffic out there? Or are you watching that puppy? We'll get to that puppy in a minute. So Trouble had taller gears, as we would say, and then this one has shorter gears. It makes this truck better at pulling hills, but Trouble's horsepower and bigger motor and everything made up for the taller gears. But Trouble going down the road at 75 miles an hour only be about 1,500 RPM. Now going down the road at 70 miles an hour in this truck, you're at 1,500 RPM. So it's a little bit different. It definitely climbs hills a little bit better. But all of this is getting used to. It's all new. All gonna be getting used to it. But yeah, so this truck is a 2015 Kenworth T660, and it is a glider built by Fitzgerald. So that's kind of cool. It has a Detroit motor in it. I don't know anything about Detroit motors, so bear with me if anybody has questions about the motor. I know enough, but I don't. This is my first Detroit. I've driven Cummins and Cats. Now I've got Detroit under my belt. And so I've got all those under my belt now, and it's just a learning curve. You gotta figure this stuff out as you go. It definitely sounds different. It sounds like a freight train going down the road. It's actually kind of cool. But anyway, so a couple differences here and there. The gears are different, this and that. It's all just gotta learn it. But yeah, so not super flashy, blah blah blah. So I'm only gonna have this truck for about a year-ish. We'll see. I guess it's kind of up to me. I mean, if I end up really liking it, I'll stay in it. But if not, I'll get into a hood after a year. Ish. But yeah, so let's check out the truck. Alright, so we'll start with the dash, which I absolutely love in this truck. If you follow me on Facebook, Step Deck Princess on Facebook, you'll see I did post a picture of this interior earlier as kind of a teaser. But this truck does have the full gauge package. I guess some people call it the owner-op package. But it literally has everything you could possibly want to know about this truck. So for those of you that know trucks, you can tune out, but for those of you that don't, amp gauge, volt gauge, oil pressure, water temp, tach and speedometer. Over here we got your primary and secondary air pressure, your left and right fuel tanks, your turbo boost, your oil temperature. I had all of these gauges on Trouble, but the majority of them did not work, unfortunately. This is your brake applied pressure, your suspension. This is how we tell what weight is on our drives. Now, in one of my videos, you may remember on Trouble, I talked about this. Trouble had one that was exact weight. This one has pounds per square inch. And I'm not exactly, I haven't gotten completely familiar with this. Every truck's different. I mean, I think I've said this a million times. Every truck is different no matter what. This one, general rule of thumb, if you're over 60 PSI, you might want to check your weights. Right now I've got a pretty light load on, so we're not worrying about it. You got your front and rear drive axle temps, your transmission temp, your fuel filter. If this is kind of for again, for those of you that don't drive truck, if your fuel starts getting cruddy and you get bad fuel, your fuel filters will clog up, and this is what will tell you if those fuel filters are starting to get bad. You got your air filter, and then you get a clock. So got everything you need. I mean, the biggest thing I've noticed about these new trucks are the switches. Now, they've gone from writing everything on the switches to having generalized just pictures of what everything is. Just like most four-wheel cars have nowadays. You know, like headlights, parking lights, clearance lights, and then fog lights. That was something I actually kind of did not like, but I talked to someone when I was driving for Stevens Transport when I first started, my 680 had the same switches. And it was kind of weird going from something where everything was written out, and you gotta, even if you kind of generally know what these are, you still gotta relearn what all these symbols mean, which I understand it because these trucks are sold and you know, they're sold worldwide. So instead of having to change the dash for every country it's in, you can just have, you know, pictures of what everything is. So you got all your switch. You got a lot of spares in this. I don't think any of these work on this. I haven't messed with them, but I don't think you got. If it would focus. There we go. You got all kinds of spares, hazards, Jake brakes, stages, cruise control, which works, and I'm so excited. And then you got your general fifth wheel lock, suspension dump, and diff locks right here. So other things about this truck. Oh yeah, no carpet in this truck. I'm pretty pumped about that because it makes it super easy to clean up fur from that one. This giant fur ball over here. Right, Kimber? I don't know why. There we go. Yes, you're just a shedding machine. Yes, you are. So we got, unfortunately this truck does have cloth seats, so I bought some seat covers, make it easier to clean it off. The deal with this company is I gotta keep the truck clean and have the dog. If the truck starts getting too messy, I gotta get rid of the dog. So, shaving you is not an option, unfortunately. But this is a double bunk sleeper. It's a 72-inch sleeper, so a big upgrade from the 48-inch coffin that we had. Closets, cabinets, and it's not a flat top anymore, so there's a lot of room in here. So, but there really is. The bunk's huge. Got big windows. I can open them up. Normally, I'm one of those people that if it's hot out, I got the AC on. But in this truck, it's great. It's a white truck, so it's easy to keep cool. So I just open those windows and we stay nice. Interior of the truck. Let's check out the outside. Again, don't expect a lot. It's not a super flashy truck, but it gets the job done. So here is the exterior. Alright, here it is. Like I said, nothing special. White 660. Running shorter tires. One of the aerodynamic trucks. With it being a glider, we only have diesel in it though, no DEF. And we'll be pulling, we're not married to a trailer like we were at the other company. So we'll be pulling 48 and 53 steps. Yeah. Nicer trailers now though, and the truck's nicer. It's only got 200,000 miles on it, so barely broken in. But it's just a plain Jane truck. It's not a bad looking truck though. I like 660s, always have, for aerodynamics. The only thing I don't like is a bird banger on the top. Wind fairing, whatever. Where those windows are on the very top, you can kind of see that line. That's just a wind fairing. You can take it off on most trucks. I don't see one around here. Oh, that one over there, that orange and white one. That one is one without the wind fairing on it. And this is what it looks like with it. I think they look a little bit better, but anyway. So there she is. And there's Kimber. Okay guys, so that is the truck. If you guys want to give me name suggestions, that's totally cool. I'm thinking about naming it. Yeah, so if you guys want to give me suggestions, I mean, I guess I should. I'm going to be in it for a year. It's going to be a girl name. All my trucks are girls, so there. But I'll take your guys' suggestions. We can even vote on it, whatever. Could be fun. But yeah, so, oh yeah, by the way, I'm in Florida and the weather is amazing. Because where I loaded this, where I started out with this trip, and where I, you know, up at home in Montana, they've got like 30 inches of snow, and up at my parents in New Hampshire, it's still snowing. Like, it's crazy, and I'm just down here enjoying the sunshine. It's kind of great. But, yeah, so truck tour's done. That's it. It's a good truck. But here's some information. I don't know how you guys will feel about it, but I gotta let you know. So obviously I'm posting this video, so I can still film, I can still do the YouTube thing, but there are going to be some changes. I can no longer show our freight for the privacy of our customers and our company. It's the owners asked me to not show our freight, not do any tie down videos, just for, you know, liability, and especially, you know what, if I screw up, because I'm human and we make mistakes, I don't want it to fall on me or someone else, you know, like I don't want the responsibility of doing something wrong and someone seeing it and being like, you know, there's always that, but, so that's going to be a little different, but it's okay. I think we can still make this work. I mean, so if you guys want some sort of video or something, you guys want to make some requests, I can surely do it. We're going to be loading up tomorrow and heading to Utah, so back up into the cold. The heat didn't last that long. I just got to spend the weekend down here, though. That was kind of nice. Yeah, so that's the deal with that. So far, this company is awesome, guys. They're a little bit bigger than I'd ever want to go to after being at such a small company, but it doesn't feel like a big company. You feel like a person, and you feel like, you know the owner. You sit down and talk to the owner. You go in and talk to the dispatchers like just normal people. It's not a big company atmosphere, and that's something that to me means a lot more than, you know, what kind of trucks they drive and what kind of freight they haul. It's all the experience as a driver. You don't want to be treated like a number. You really don't. It sucks. I've had that happen before. When I first started driving, that's the way it was. It did. It sucked. So this is great. So far, so good. I'm loving this, and I hope you guys are still going to stick around and are enjoying this so far. And I'm hoping I'll post another video next week. So stay tuned. And Kimber's back there somewhere. I was hoping she was going to be up here, but anyway. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will catch up with you soon.